International Women's Month. So I'm here to talk about women in cannabis because I'm a woman that uses cannabis. So here we are. I am. So I guess I will start with why women use cannabis. I mean, women use cannabis for all the same reasons men use cannabis, but we also particularly use cannabis, or I mean, at least I do, I'll speak from my experiences, that I personally use it for mental and physical health. And I think that's a reason a lot of women use cannabis. And I wish the stigma on cannabis hadn't been so hard for so long, because, you know, more women could have benefited from cannabis a long time ago. And I think it's really good that we have the opportunity now, but it just really fucked us up, guys. It really fucked us up, to be quite honest. Just telling you straight up, that's what it is. Because cannabis started to become associated with like counterculture movements and counterculture just like scenes. And so then it also becomes stigmatized towards Black people, as we've talked about before. And then, you know, for women, especially in an era like the flapper era, where it's like women can't have loose morals. And even though you might go against the status quo just a little bit, you can't be an untamed woman, because no man will want to marry you. You know, that was like the big thing. So, and like if you're a smoker, back then smoking cigarettes was fine, but like if you're a cannabis smoker and like you're too heavy of a drinker or a partier, you're too loose of a woman, you're just not going to be the best wife. You're not going to be someone anyone will want. And that was the stigma that got put on us. So it was like, oh, I don't want to be someone that someone won't want, because I mean, who wants to not be wanted? You know, like that's just a natural human feeling. But you know, from there, it kind of stuck that women, especially, even though men were using it in certain situations, there was still a big stigma that a lot of women, like, you know, again, you're a woman. You shouldn't have looser morals. You should be the, like, upright kind of girl that every guy wants. That's just, these are the social norms that have been put on us. And I think that is what is so great about International Women's Month and International Women's Day, and why it's so important is because we need to break not just cannabis stigmas, but our stereotypes, you know? Like, a woman can do everything a man can do while bleeding. Just so you know, we can do everything you can do while bleeding in a very big way. So give us some respect. That's just what I'm saying. I mean, outside of the month of March, you should give respect to all women in your life, because honestly, we go through a lot on a daily basis that I think a lot of anyone just doesn't really think about it too much. But it affects us in a big way, because, you know, as women in this world, sometimes we feel unsafe. And because of that, we're on high alert. And we have to go into situations thinking about them 10 different ways instead of just walking into them with the confidence of a man. And that is what it's about, breaking that inequality, the fact that you have to think about certain things. You shouldn't have to think about certain things, because you can do them just as well as anyone else can, no matter what their gender, no matter what their race. You can do it. And that is what it's about. It's about empowerment. So we are empowering you to smoke more cannabis. And not just smoke it, but like, I mean, get more into cannabis, because it can really help you as a woman. I personally, as I've said before, I suffer with endometriosis. My mom, my grandma, my aunt, my cousin, like, we're very fucked up. That's all it is. But, you know, I think I'm thankful that I personally have had the opportunity to have cannabis in my life, because cannabis has helped me so much to deal with the symptoms of endometriosis. It has helped me so much to deal with my mental health. And these are things that, again, we don't really talk about because we get told that we're emotional a lot. That is something you will hear someone say to a woman at least once a day. You are being emotional. And that is gaslighting. I'm going to let you know that right now. Saying that someone is being emotional, people's feelings are valid, no matter their race or sex or gender. Like all of those things. Your feelings are valid. They may not be rooted in a valid argument, and that is a separate thing. You know, like a kid being upset that they're not getting chocolate. You're being upset is valid, okay? Like I understand you're upset you wanted the chocolate. But you wanting the chocolate is not valid because it's not time for that right now. That is the kind of, that's what we're talking about right here, you know? Because emotions are, you have to think that, I'm going to say this and it's going to sound really against all of the therapy that I've ever had, but emotions come and go. Your thought process and your morals and who you are should stay the same, you know? I think it's just looking at it from different angles, and I think that's another thing that we don't do when we come at equality, when we come at things, looking at things like equality. I know a lot of people look at International Women's Month and they go, why do women need a whole month? Why do women need a day? Because we spend 365 of them thinking about too many things, dealing with too many things, walking through life with too many things on our backs. And that is why cannabis is so important for women. Because I know a lot of women, especially in this industry, especially in this community, who consume cannabis. And when I talk to them, they say I consume cannabis because stress. Talking with Latoya, she said that it helps her be a better mother, you know? For me, it helps with my health, like my physical health as well as my mental health. And for some people, it's just mental health. And for other people, another one is menopause. Menopause is a big thing that we need definitely more research on. We need more research on women and cannabis because a lot of the studies done medically involving cannabis are based on how cannabis affects men or just how cannabis affects people, but the majority of the test subjects they use are men. We need more research on how cannabis affects women because it has been shown that women in certain situations, we actually have a higher THC tolerance. I personally don't have that high of a THC tolerance, but that's because I have low body weight and a lot of other issues related to my endometriosis. So that's kind of what affects mine. But because of estrogen, the way that estrogen mixes with cannabis in your body, with the little research that we do have, it has been shown that it can actually really help with regulating your hormones. Sorry, I always trip over certain words. But yeah, it can help with regulating your hormones. And, you know, women, especially in that time of our lives, especially when it comes to our reproductive systems, we get prescribed so many freaking medications. Like, I don't know what doctor told a man that he needed to get a ring inserted in him. If it works for you, then do it. But like a ring as a form of birth control, and as a form, not just as a form of birth control. It has been prescribed, and I'm not going to even say this in a general sense. I'm going to say this in a personal sense. I have been prescribed a lot of different like contraceptives. I don't need contraceptive, just to be quite honest. I I don't really want it, but I've been told that it's going to help me manage my symptoms. These are foreign things to my body, one. And two, I personally just don't like putting a lot of medications in my body because over time, those things are not good for you. There's certain birth controls that you're not meant to be on for more than like a year or 2 years because they are doing not great things to your body. That's not a natural way to regulate your hormones. That's not a natural way to manage your symptoms. It's, again, foreign to your body. Like, adding things like that is just, it's a little much for me. And you know what? I've watched, again, the women in my family personally go through things like surgeries and medications. And I've watched doctors tell them that their pain is not that bad. It could be worse. You need a surgery to do this, but we're going to do this to you instead. Like, you should have autonomy over your body. I mean, as women, we've been told for so long what to do with our bodies and how to do it. And that is just, again, something that I'm not for. So, again, equality, because I don't know what man goes into the doctor and gets told that he can or can't do a certain thing. Just saying. Like, yeah, a doctor might tell you, like, bro, you shouldn't smoke anymore because you're dying. Or a doctor can tell you, like, don't drink anymore because your liver is fucked. But, like, don't come to me and tell me that I can or can't reproduce because of this. I can or can't, like, what I'm feeling inside my body is normal, you know? Because, no, feeling that much pain, feeling doubled over in pain once a month, not normal, guys. Not normal at all. You should not have to feel that pain. Like, I know that it's kind of a society thing that we've started to be told from the second that we get our periods is like, oh, yeah, you know, that's just going to be normal for the rest of your life till you hit menopause. And then you're going to have to suffer through hot flashes, which I already do. Those are not fun. Again, like, cannabis helps me regulate these things. And again, as I've said before on the show, cannabis is not a cure-all for everyone. Not everyone reacts the same to everything, but I can speak from personal experience that it helps me in regulating my symptoms and regulating my hormones and regulating my mental health. And I think it's great that I live in a time when I can share that with my mom. I live in a time and place where I can share that with my mom, who also has had to deal with that because she has been prescribed things by doctors and told that she needs this surgery and that surgery for so long. And now I'm able to give her teas and weed and gummies and things like that to help her manage her life. And I wish I could do the rest for the rest of my family, but they live in a country where that shit's not legal. So I'm so sorry, guys, but you're gonna have to stick with your straight CBD that has no THC in it. And I hope that works for you, because for some people, straight CBD is also a great help. But I just feel like when it comes to the regulation of hormones, the key factor in that can, again, depending on the person, be THC. Not a lot, because for me, I like a 3-to-1 ratio, but I've heard from people that they like the 1-to-1 ratio, and that helps them. So, you know, again, finding out about your body and yourself, a big help when it comes to cannabis and women. Another big thing about cannabis and women in this industry is that I am thankful that we have companies that are specifically catered to women. Like that, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for creating things like suppositories and topicals and things that are literally made specifically for menstrual cramps and made specifically for hot flashes and things like that, and vaginal health. Like those things, you guys doing the Lord's work. You guys are doing the Lord's work. I'd like to just give a quick shout out to a couple of Canadian companies that are doing that. Peak Farms, and they do suppositories, and I've personally used those, and they have helped me in some of my worst moments. So I'd like to give a thank you to you guys. I'd like to give a shout out to Mimi's Cannabis for turning me on to the medical side of cannabis and how it helps me manage my pain and symptoms. She's been a big help with that. Oh my God, there's so many companies, guys. We can always use more. So don't be afraid to hop into this industry, guys, because like I said, we need more cannabis research on specifically women and specific products for women, because I think we could use that little extra boost. We get, again, prescribed so many different things, told so many different things. We have so many different stresses on our daily lives that we deserve a smoke break. We deserve an edible every once in a while. We deserve to just be, And I am proud to be a woman in this industry. I am proud to be a woman in general. I am so thankful to the women in my life and the women who helped raise me, because again, shout out to my mom, because she got me here. Mama Mellow, she got me here. She showed me very much what it is to be an independent woman. I don't need a man for many things in my life, and I'm quite thankful for that. But, it's just being able to be you, no matter, again, your gender, your sex, your race. International Women's Month, though, is about giving equality where equality is due, because, again, we can do everything you can do but bleeding and in a lot of pain. So please don't be telling women that they're being dramatic. Please don't tell women that they are being over emotional. Please do not tell women that their pain is not valid. Because I'm going to tell you right now, and I say this to men every once in a while, if you had someone kicking you in the nuts for 5 days out of the month, just straight 24 hours kicking you in your nuts, okay? You would not be happy either. You would not be happy. You would be hunched over in pain. You would not be functional. So don't come to me. Don't come to me with the bullshit. But again, thank you to the women in this industry. Thank you to the women helping grow this industry. If you are a woman that wants to get more into cannabis or know more about how cannabis can help you, definitely reach out. I'm going to, again, be talking with more people on this topic this year, because, again, another thing that is very important to me outside of all of the fun and games that we have gotten to enjoy in the last year, advocacy is a big thing to me. It has always been a big thing to me, especially when it comes to women's rights, especially when it comes to women's health, especially when it comes to people of color and our rights and health. And yeah, I think that we need to respect each other, love each other, help your fellow women, just support, guys. That's what it's all about. And keep breaking those stigmas. Keep helping yourself, whatever self-care looks like for you. As long as you're not hurting anyone, you're good. And I'm sending you guys all my love. We're going to be having a great month. We're going to be having a great year. And don't forget to like, subscribe, check out the Patreon. Don't forget to support. And I will see you guys again very soon with a special guest.